Gently bring your mind's attention to the seat you are sitting. Head, neck, and trunk in a straight line. Feet firmly placed on the ground. Hands resting gently on your thighs. Shoulders balanced and relaxed. Eyes softly closed. Relax your forehead. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Relax your entire body. Head to toes and toes to head. Gently guide your awareness to your breath. Navel to nostrils as you exhale. Nostrils to navel as you inhale. Free flowing breath. Without a pause, without a break. Let your mind ride on your breath. You may use the mantra so so with the incoming breath, with the outgoing breath. Take a gentle breath in and we will chant Om together 3 times. Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Namaste and welcome. Welcome to the class. And let us begin with our homework. So I have decided on asking Madhura and Sucharita. I hope they have joined. Suchitra, one incident in which you did not lose your equanimity in the last 1 week. Is Madhura there? No? No, Madhura is not there. All right. Suchitra is there? She can unmute her. Can we unmute Suchitra, Pavanji?
Yes, we can, but I don't see her either in the groups
Acha.
unless.
Okay, in that case, let's ask Shweta. Unmute Shweta.
Yeah. Good evening. Uh, actually, I don't have an answer for it because it's like this. If I didn't express it outwardly, also, but I went through the internal turmoil, or either or other way too. If it was like I was calm outside, I had an internal thing, and if I was calm inside, I had an outburst. So I don't have an answer for it for this week. I think having both calmness is what is important, which I didn't go through this week.
That's not necessarily true. The point is that you are observing. This is the point. The point is not about equanimity alone. The point is self-observation.
Yeah.
That is the key. Recognition of the situation, and even if it is post the situation.
Yeah.
Three ways of approach. One is before a situation arises, because you are always in a state of equanimity. Second is during a situation that has arisen. And third, retrospective. Of course, the Gnani is the one who is before any situation.
Yeah.
Like us, who have to practice, it is during the situation, hopefully. If not, does not matter.
Okay.
So now you give us an incident where you were inside in turmoil, but outside you were very calm.
Okay. One such incident was with my son in the morning when he had to go to the school, and he was like, the bus was about to leave, and he was still standing in front of the mirror and combing his hair. So at that time, I was like, I just told him once or twice that the bus is going to leave. He just told me that I know when it is going to leave. You want to go to the gym, you just leave. And I just left. I just walked out of the house. But then, being a mom, I was on my phone checking the camera whether he left on time, whether he got the bus. So that kind of a turmoil I was in internally. Yeah.
Excellent. That is, I think, the best behavior you could have done. And already you have made I mean, maybe you always, but this is a very good incident where next time you will notice that you will not be agitated inside also. And
Yeah, I hope so.
then you will manage that calmness to him as well. That okay, I'm not. You take responsibility, and
Yeah.
soon responsibility for himself much better than you expect. Right. So has any of the others joined? No. So anybody who wants to answer can give one answer. Anyone. I will not choose. You can raise your hand and Pavanji will unmute you. Sudha and Rama are jnanis, they don't require all this.
I can probably volunteer.
Okay. Tell us.
So again, just like Shweta may not have a lot of examples, but what I've noticed is that the only time I'm in equilibrium or I have some calmness is when I'm probably following the process and not really looking at the result. Giving a cricket analogy wherein people are in the zone, they just follow however it works. While either playing or whatever, you are not again attached to what's happening. You just follow the process, And that's when I have personally experienced when I just follow a particular process without really any attachment to the end result. It just works. And that's when I'm probably most calm without really thinking too much.
Thinking too much spoils my whole thing.
Yeah.
Because what does thought do? Now just analyze a little bit. What does thought do? Why is it that you are saying not thinking too much results in my being calm? What does thought do? Anybody can answer.
It's just creating that additional pressure or whatever. It's trying to create hypothetical scenarios. Majority of them won't even occur.
What
So,
it does is trigger an emotion. And it's emotion we cannot control. Emotion overpowers you. So that is why not thinking too much about anything at all is very helpful. And how will you reach that? You will reach that with the practice of meditation and pranayama. And of course, knowledge. Because just knowing this is going to help you the next time. Boy, no need to think. Why? Unnecessary. I am going to get worked up about anything and everything. And then equanimity becomes a given. All right. So shall we start, or is anybody likely wanting to express themselves? Please go ahead if anybody wants to express. All right. So up until now, what we have learned? We have learned about Arjuna's dilemma, which was due to attachment and therefore confusion. We have also to remind ourselves forever until we are realized that what we truly are, what is our real nature, and how should action be performed so that eventually every secular activity is turned into a spiritual action. So we are trying to spiritualize our daily life so that towards the end of our lives, we do not regret that we did not make the right effort in the right direction. And this thread is continuing now through our classes, through the rest of the season. So, and we also learned how jnana and karma cannot lead to diverse outcomes and how buddhi is of the utmost importance. Because without using your intellect, you will not be able to decipher even what is the right action and what is the wrong action. And forget about going ahead and knowing how to do that action. Therefore, buddhi yoga is, I think karma yoga should be combined. You should call it buddhi karma yoga. You need to use your buddhi constantly. Now, we had come up till shloka number 8 in chapter 3. We are now on shloka number 9, and I am not going to read each and every shloka. Till number 16, I'm going to give you a summary because it is developing the concept of action as a yajna. So I'll read the 9th shloka and then I'll give you the summary. So the 9th shloka reads, Yajnarthat karmano anyatra loko yam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha sama achara. So man is bound by his own action except when it is performed for the sake of sacrifice. Therefore, Arjuna, do you efficiently perform your duty free from attachment for the sake of sacrifice alone. Sacrifice meaning yajna. The word yajna comes from the verb root of yaja, and yaja means to do an offering. To do an offering. So what is the secret of action? You know, Brahma himself, what is said is that Brahma created this entire universe as an act of sacrifice, as an offering, as a ritual. And that means that we have been created as a yajna, and we should therefore perform every action as a yajna. The secret way is that we should not have attachment. So we have to act in a dharmic and ethical way, because both society and ourselves, we get a great deal of satisfaction if we do that. Now here I want to introduce two terms, prayas and shreyas. Some of you are aware of it. Prayas is that action which we do in an ethical manner, but with the result in view. And it does bring fulfillment, but that fulfillment does not last. Whereas shreyas is that action which is done without attachment. So what happens is it brings fulfillment at that time also, and it brings freedom from the anxiety which results from waiting or expecting a result. So remember these two words, and also check out every time that you are acting. Every time we are constantly acting, but whatever action that is of some importance, is it shreyas or is it prayas? And take it from there. Then we have to, second thing about a yajna is that when you have performed a yajna, at the end of it, you get a prasad. So whatever action you do, whatever the result comes of it, should be accepted as prasad. Many times, you know, especially in the temples, you get prasad which you don't like at all. Is it not? It's all mixed up hodgepodge something, and then they dump it in your hand. You're not even sure is it clean or not clean and all such things. But you take it and you eat it. So life may offer you prasads which you don't like, but you accept it as something that has been given by the Lord, and therefore I accept whatever the result of my action may be. So the prasada vritti is the second aspect of a yajna. So what? And the third is that when you are doing a ritual, you are doing it as a worship, as a puja. So whatever action you do, whether you are driving, you're cooking, or you're doing any mundane activity, now for this moment you are listening to me, I am speaking to you with all the love in my heart. How am I doing it? As a worship of so many divine beings right in front of me. How beautiful is that attitude, and how satisfying and how rewarding is that in itself. So any action that you do, consider it as a puja. So when in the 10th sloka, Brahma says to the people, to mankind, when he has created mankind, that you now may you prosper by this, and may this yield all the enjoyments that you seek, because he had created the universe as if for mankind. And it is said that when he created, he just uttered one word, one syllable, da. The demons understood that they should practice daya because they lack their daya. The devas understood they should practice dhamma, that is control over themselves. And the mankind understood dana, that is to give. So we should be wanting to give of ourselves and to ourselves. We are not excluded from mankind. And that is what the other, when we do this, we shall be granted all our wishes. This is what is said in the 10th shloka, Ishta Kama Dukha. That is, all your wishes may be the bestower, the God, Ishta. The day Ishta that you are praying, propitiating, will bestow all your wishes. So that is how it was done in the Vedic times. And there, the 11th shloka is telling you that all these gods, which are of the, like I said, Varuna, Agni, I think the last time we touched upon this, that unless you look after nature, nature cannot look after you. So it is a mutual worship. You have to worship the devas of each and every element, in the sense that you have to protect them. Dharmo rakshati dharma. So if you do raksha of dharma, dharma will do raksha of you. That is, you protect dharma, dharma protects you. Similarly, if we let our rivers dry up, if we pollute them, how will they protect us? So this is what was already told to us since ancient times, and we have failed in that. And the one who does not do this, in the 12th shloka, Sri Krishna says, is verily a thief. Why? Because he is stealing for his own self gratification all the nature's bounty and not giving anything back. So ask yourself, how many trees have you planted in your lifetime? And they say, I mean, this is a yajna that has been started, I think, by Sadhguru, that, not Sadhguru, I'm not quite sure, every year on your birthday, the number of years old you are, you should plant that many number of trees on your birthday. What a jungle we would have soon in our neighborhood itself. But it somehow doesn't become possible. But let us at least plant one tree. Let us at least distribute that many seeds to those who are into it. So if we don't do that, then we are thieves. In Shloka 13, what has been emphasized is this: taking prasad with the act of feeling of service, they are released from karma. But the one who cooks and eats for himself, मेरे पेट के लिए, पापी पेट के लिए जैसे, मेरे पेट के लिए, then what happens? That he is committing a sin. That is committing a sin. So Sri Krishna has in no uncertain terms called us thieves and sinners if we have not followed his instructions. And he continues to say that the food arises from rain, and the rain arises from yajna, and this chakra that he has set into motion, one who does not see himself as part of that and falls prey to sense pleasure is worthless in this life. He lives in vain, because even worldly goal will not be attained, nor will any spiritual progress be attained. So I have written an essay on yajna, but I will read a few highlights of that. And just to emphasize what else yajna can mean. And this is that, in the different yugas, I think you all are well aware that there was the Krita Yuga first, then the Treta, then the Dwapara, and now we are in the Kali Yuga. So in the Kreta Yuga, what was enjoined for self-realization? Tremendous tapa. So they were all, you hear of rishis sitting in tapas for thousands of years and all of that. So they had to do a lot of tapas to become self-realized. Then in the Treta Yuga, one needed to do dhyan and you needed to have jnana. In the Dwapara Yuga, it was all yajna, 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 rituals, rituals, rituals. And what is enjoined in the Kali Yuga? Simple. Nama Sankirtan. How beautiful is that? And do you know, Sri Krishna, in his in the chapter, 10th chapter, where he is describing his vibhutis, he says, among the yajnas, I am the highest yajna is japa. I am that. So doing Nama Sankirtan is another form of yajna that is prescribed, and we should consider ourselves blessed that we are born in Kali Yuga. You know, I have seen people beat their heads. Had we been born in Treta Yuga, everything would have been so golden and this and that. No, no, no. You are very fortunate. You have very little tapas to do. Just Nama Sankirtan and you will be through. Secondly, what is very vital in this is that being born in Kali Yuga, we are into this knowledge. We are seeking this knowledge. How many people are seeking it? So it's more like being Andho mein Kana Raja. At least we are looking. We can see a little truth here and there, which is a very fortunate thing for us. So, how can we practice this sentiment of Yajna? That the Devas serve, first of all, Sri Krishna tells us that the Devas serve the one who offers the fruits of his action first to the gods and then partakes of whatever is left for his own self. And that is the sentiment with which you should live. That is the way that you can spiritualize every action of yours. Now we come to the shloka number 17. See, what I found the other day is that I will still be taking, this is, I think, our class number 4. So we have 8 classes left. I will still be taking 6 classes for the topic of Karma Yoga with you through the shlokas. And the last 2 classes, we will leave for some special topics. So it is chapter 3, chapter 4, and bit of chapter 18 that we shall be discussing. But we will be doing only the selected shlokas. So now shloka number 17. Do you have the book with you? Has everybody got the book? Yes? So, Rama, can you read the shloka number 17?
Yes. Yastvatmaratirev syadatmatrittascha manavah atmanyeva cha santushtah tasya karyam na vidyate. He, however, who takes delight in the self alone and is gratified with the self and is contented in the self has no duty.
Yes, so now Sri Krishna is taking us towards understanding what is it that relieves you from any action whatsoever. That means how Jnana frees you from the bondage of karma. And of course, we will be going further into details in chapter number 4. But for now, let us understand. Read also the shloka number 18 so we can take both together because they are similar.
Naiva tasya kritenartho na kriteneha kaschana न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः. In this world, that great soul has nothing to gain by action nor by abstaining from action, nor has he selfish dependence of any kind on any creature.
Well, see, this is so very beautiful. He has defined over here why the one who is Agnani does not incur or no karma accrues to him. First, because of the fact that he hasn't got a selfish motive for any action that he is doing. And secondly, because of the fact that he knows who he truly is. So he does not take the doership of it. So if there is a karta, there is an automatic bhokta. But when he is not a karta whatsoever, then how can he become a bhokta? So those are the two reasons why he is already absolved from karma. Now we will wonder, how does that mean that the jnani has no desire whatsoever? No. Desires which do not bind you are desires, number one, which are for lokasangra, for everyone. But more importantly, on which you are not emotionally dependent. So even those who are not enlightened can take heart in this fact that if we have a desire, but if it does not get fulfilled, it's not gratified, it doesn't matter, then that desire is not a binding desire. But the desire which are not being gratified creates an emotional turmoil within you. That desire is considered the one that you should be avoiding. And why does it do that? Because it is for selfish purposes. It is very obvious that, this kind of a desire which leads to a tantrum. For example, a small child is not given ice cream or something and he goes into a fit. So he is emotionally dependent on the gratification of that. And surprisingly, most of us also behave like that when our senses are not gratified on an immediate, instant basis. And we suffer. So that is the binding desire. You may have 1,000 desires, according to Swami Dayanand. And if none of them are binding, and you do not suffer any turmoil if they are not fulfilled, it is the very nature of the mind to have a desire. Now, taking both these shlokas together, for the one who has realized the self, both action or inaction are the same, for he has no self-interest, meaning selfish interest. This is what I told you. He no longer identifies with the body, so he has no territorial insecurity, or any other form of self-preservation. अरे बाप रे, इस शरीर को पसीना आ रहा है, पंखा चला AC लगा. So he may say that, but it will not bother him if it is not immediately, or even if it is not done. So that the botheration is the problem. So because he doesn't identify with the body, okay, the body is feeling hot and cold. So the four fountains of existence, what are the four fountains? Ahara, Nidra, Bhayam and Maithunam, which we share with the animal world. It's so sad that in Western culture, mankind is called a social animal. How sad. We are actually identifying with our animal nature because it has in common these four fountains of life. It is because of Maithunam that we procreate. We all need to sleep. We all need to feed this body. And we all are afraid of death. We are afraid of many things, but at the root of any fear is really being fearful of death. But man is endowed with something far superior. And that is what we should be concentrating on. And that is the consciousness of self. We are self-aware. Even if you're not realized, you're aware of yourself as a being. And that makes the man the most evolved of all creation. So this, the great soul who has realized the truth in himself, is pure awareness. And as such, doing or not doing do not apply to him. So when we are the most evolved of all creation, apparently, I don't know of other realms in different planets and all of that. But as far as we can see on this earth, in which case we should rise to our total potential. And that is to become aware of awareness, meaning identifying not with this body-mind complex, but with the awareness that resides and radiates from within to this and brightens this entire universe for the sake of experience. So it is an inward, outward, inward process. So I, the awareness, project my awareness onto the so-called universe such that I may experience it as a separate than me. But that too is really nothing but made of pure consciousness alone. So we perhaps discuss that some other time. But what has happened to this great soul? He has kruta krutyata. He has done what he needed to be done. He has jnatavya jnatatya. That means he has known what should be known. And praptavya prapta. He has attained what needs to be attained. Now here I want to introduce 4 words to describe us. Jijivisha, Jigyasa, Bubuksha, and Mumuksha. What do these words mean? They are very interesting. I'm just, enjoying the Sanskrit of it because I feel that it kind of, at least in my brain, it opens many lacunae and doors to understanding. So Jijivisha is the one who is just trying to live. Jigyasa is the one who is interested in knowing. Bubuksha, the one who wants to go on experiencing. Oh, let's go. What's your bucket list for travel, baby? That's what you want to ask yourself. So that is a bubuksha. And who is a mumuksha? The one who has come only to know, what the hell am I here for? The problem is, none of us knows what we are here for. We tend to, just roll like rolling stones. We tend to drift, unfortunately. So we have to take a pause. Now, I want to highlight some of the karma yoga principles today so that we get on to practicing them. So there are some 18 principles, and I will request either Sudha or Rama to put them onto the WhatsApp group as a chart. The first principle, as we all know and we are well aware, action without expecting fruit. Karma phala tyaga. The second is action without attachment. Asanga. See, example given is that the sun shines on all without discrimination and remains unsullied. So act, you do the action, give and remain unattached. The third, to do action as a yajna, because this is a chakra which has been set in motion, environment and man. Therefore, you must respect the cycle of which has been set in motion by the Lord himself. Fourth, action with care. samagraha, keeping everybody in mind. अपने लिए मत चाहो, अपना मत समझो, अपने लिए मत करो. सबका समझो, सबके लिए चाहो, सबके लिए करो. So that is action with care. Fifth, as a means for chitta shuddhi. You know very well that if you do karma yoga, the chitta mala can be washed off and there will be chitta shuddhi. Sixth is to be a proper role model. This will be highlighted further in the next chapter. See, we think that, oh, only these icons are role models. No, no, no. All of us are role models for somebody or the other. Those of us who have children have definitely role models for their children at the beginning. Of course, it all changes. But when I had this experience, I found that my 3-year-old and 2-year-old, I had them in quick succession, were running around saying, "Shut up, shut up." And it gave me such a shock to realize that that's what I was saying. Because they would be harassing me or chatting so much. So, and therefore, you should be a proper role model. And seventh, suppose you are in that iconic position, you should be remembering that you have to protect the masses. So you must behave in such a manner that those, Kalavati, kindly mute yourself, those that follow you do not go to disaster, they go to progress. Eighth is Arpana Vritti. That is, we offer all of this at the feet of the Lord. Ninth is Prasada Buddhi. That is, we accept whatever we get as a result of our action. 10th, put the Samashti before Vyashti. That is, put the benefit of all before the benefit of the self. 11th, meant for the ignorant. All this that I have told you is meant for the ignorant, not for the self-realized being. For his action is exactly how it should be. 12th, this avoids being a mithyachari. You cannot, when we say we avoid being a mithyachari, what is it? That just by donning this orange garment, I don't become a sannyasi. If I am filled with desires and I have not, renounced internally, and then even if whatever clothes I wear doesn't matter, it is an important thing not to be at least a hypocrite. 13th is Parasparo Devo Bhava. Like I said at the beginning of our class, if we feel that we are serving each other as though we are the embodiment of the divine, how beautiful is that? Then 14, transforming our routine action into a spiritual practice. 15, do not unsettle others. If there is an average person, bichara, he wants to pass his exams and he's studying hard and he's only wanting the result of his action. Don't tell him, forget about the result. Forget about the result. I mean, don't be the holier than thou person. Assess where that person's mentality is and accordingly advise, and in fact, encourage them in whatever they are doing so that later on they will see your attitude of equanimity and want to know, how is it that you never got stressed? We were both doing the same thing. And then 16th, Swadharma. That is, whichever ashrama you are in, that is the Grahasthashram, if you are in Grahasthashram, if you are in Vanaprastha, or if you are in Sannyas ashram, or you're in the brahmacharya ashram, follow the rules and regulations of that ashrama and do the action that you are given to do according to your prarabdha and according to your aptitude, inclination, attitude. All of that comes into the inverted commas of swadharma. 17th, use your buddhi. That is, it is buddhi yoga. And finally, 18th, raga dvesha samatvam, which is the result of not expecting the fruit thereof. Raga dvesha rahitam. Actually, raga dvesha, we have so many likes and dislikes. So, attraction and aversion, that is raga and dvesha. And because of this attraction and aversion, we form samskaras, and that is imprints. And because we form samskaras, we are impelled. It is as if they impel us to do these various actions. So if we do not expect the karma phala, we will slowly get over this raga and dvesha. All right. So we are going to stop here because I think 40 minutes is what is considered as attention time, and we have kind of passed it. So the exercise for today will be, we'll put it on the group also. What is yajna? And give a practical example in daily life where you used this principle. If there is any doubt, any questions, I'm happy to take. ठीक है? We'll say bye till next week. Om asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrutyorma amritam gamaya. Om shanti shanti shanti. तन्मे मनः शिव संकल्पमस्तु. तन्मे मनः शिव संकल्पमस्तु. तन्मे मनः शिव संकल्पमस्तु. हरि ओम तत्सत. नमस्ते. ठीक है.